Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile found...
Since the days that man's feet first trod upon the world, he has been natural enemies with the wolf. This primordial foe has since become the focal point of our terror, nightmares, and through these, legend. Chief among such legends is that a dark, malevolent force takes possession of the body of man and transforms it into a hideous fusion of that man and his ancient adversary. Swift, powerful, and filled with a relentless, murderous rage, this horrific fiend takes to the fields, rooftops, forests, and alleyways of the world to sate its preternatural bloodlust. This radio program is called Shadowland, and you will agree, I hope, that it is a most appropriate venue to present to you the werewolf. Mrs. Delbert Gregg of Texas told of her encounter with a shape-shifting creature in the 1960 issue of Fate magazine. Mrs. Gregg said that one night in 1958, when her husband was on a business trip, she moved her bed close to a screen window, hoping to catch some cool breeze from a thunderstorm brewing on the southwestern horizon. She heard a scratching sound from the window shortly after she fell asleep. In a flash of lightning, she saw a huge, shaggy, wolf-like creature clawing at the screen and staring at her with baleful, glowing, slitted eyes. She saw it bared white fangs. The creature fled from the yard into a clump of bushes as she leapt from her bed to grab a flashlight. Mrs. Gregg said, "I watched for the animal to come out of the bushes, but after a short time, instead of a great shaggy wolf running out, the figure of an extremely tall man suddenly parted the thick foliage and walked hurriedly down the road, disappearing into the darkness." Mark Shackleman was driving east of Highway 18 near Jefferson, Wisconsin, on an evening in 1936 when he saw a figure digging in an Indian mound. He saw a hair-covered creature that was over 6 feet tall with both ape-like and dog-like features, with pointed ears standing erect. Its hands had shriveled thumbs and forefingers, and also 3 fully formed fingers. Shackleman went back to the sighting the next evening, hoping to see the creature again, and he did. The creature was making neo-human sounds with 3-syllable growling. Years later, his son, who was a Kenosha newspaper editor, wrote that his father's first thought was that it must be something satanic. Between July and October 1972, a number of residents of Ohio allegedly saw a werewolf-like creature. Some people reported encountering a 6 to 8 foot tall creature that a witness described as human with an oversized wolf-like head and an elongated nose. Another said it had huge hairy feet, fangs, and it ran from side to side like a caveman in the movies. 4 Gallup, New Mexico youths allegedly encountered a werewolf along the side of a road near Whitewater one day in January of 1970. One witness reported it was about 5'7", and I was surprised it could go so fast. At first I thought my friends were playing a joke on me, but when I found out they weren't, I was scared. We rolled up the windows real fast and locked the doors of the car. I started driving faster, about 60, but it was hard because that highway had a lot of sharp turns. Someone finally got a gun out and shot it. I know it got hit and fell down, but there was no blood. I know it couldn't be a person because people cannot move that fast. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Shadowland radio special, The Werewolf.